welcome back to How Ines Rolls. Today I am making a decadent cake that doesn't have flour. It is going to be a flourless chocolate cake, and I'm making it not only for Paul but for a special visitor tonight. So you heard me. You know that Paul's been doing a lot of gluten-free. He's been really good at it. He has had his ice cream though, so he's been very particular about what ice creams he's been choosing. But I wanted to make this cake because we're having the sister missionaries come over this evening just to teach a little mini lesson to our family, and one of them has celiac disease. So I wanted to make sure that this was a gluten-free treat just for her, and it happens to be so easy. So let me know in the comments if you've ever made a gluten-free or a flourless cake before, and let me know if you've liked it. So first off, you need an 8-inch pan. I don't have an 8-inch pan, but I have a pie dish, so I hope that works. And then you're gonna need a little bit of parchment paper, and just to kind of go on the circle. So we're gonna lightly spray that with some cooking spray, and then just stick that on the bottom. Now, parchment paper is different than wax paper, so just make sure you're using the parchment stuff. I've used the wax stuff before, and it made a mess, so couldn't eat it. So let me get started. I'm just gonna need a bowl and just start melting some chocolate chips and butter. Easy peasy. We're gonna get this in the microwave for 30-second increments, and then it should take about 90 seconds. So we don't wanna scorch it or anything, just nice and melted through. Should be good. So it didn't even take 90 seconds, it took 30. So I'm just gonna move it over to the side, kind of prep this, and then start getting my other ingredients. Pretty easy, don't you think? I'm gonna spray the sides well, so it'll easily come out. Well, that's the goal. Okay, so now this is done. Let me go get the other stuff. Next up is just a few more ingredients, just some vanilla and some cocoa and sugar and eggs. And you can see there's one egg that just likes to keep rolling. So I'm gonna do the eggs last, since the chocolate is a little bit warm still. So we don't want to cook eggs in there, do we? So this recipe is from the stay-at-home chef. I totally love following her. She's on Instagram, and I believe she has YouTube videos. So you should check her out. She's got some really great stuff. So I don't doubt that this recipe is going to be delicious. So I'm going to bring you closer and just start putting the rest of the ingredients in. Mixer out in case I needed it, but I didn't even need it. I love it. So this has a nice dark chocolate smell, and it almost has a consistency of like homemade brownies. So this is so exciting. So I'm just gonna get that into the pan and then bake it at 375 for 25 minutes. So I'll put the link to this recipe if you would like to visit her site, her blog. She's got some good ones, guys. And this is ready to bake. It just came out of the oven. Now I do have some cracking, so I'm not quite sure why that happened, but I'm just going to let it rest for a few minutes as directed, and then flip it onto a dish. I can't wait, and that's the underside anyways. No one's gonna see it. Ooh, I bet it smells so good. All right, this part should be interesting. It's only been 5 minutes, but as directed, it says I need to get it on my plate. But can we take a second and take a look at this cutie plate? I think I got it at a flea market, an outdoor flea market. So maybe Paul will remember when he's watching this video. Do you remember? Is this when we got it in Long Beach? Anyways, I've never been good at this. And here I am putting it out for the world to see. Okay, let's see. Okay. Oh, hot. That pan is a little bit warm, so watch out, you guys, when you're doing this. But it came out. Ooh, ooh. Oh yeah. It's not like a thick, super thick cake. Let me show you. It's nice and thin, and then that parchment paper. Ta-dow! So if I did not use the parchment paper, I can guarantee you that flipping it out would have broken it in half, because it's not so thick. It's not like gluten is it like holding it and keeping it like nice and firm. This is a little more delicate, so it would have just ripped right off and crumbled, would have been still stuck in there, which I've done a video about that before, so if I remember, I'll plug it in here somewhere. But now I have to take it to a complete cool, so I have to go run an errand, and I'll just take you with me. I'm all set, and now let's go make that ganache for that cake. Okay, you guys, it's time to make the ganache, which is like the nice silky frosting that's going to go up there on top of the cake. So first, all I need to do is start a simmer on some heavy whipping cream, just half a cup. So you could kind of see I did about half. Let me just do a tiny bit more. Great. And I'm just going to bring this to a simmer, and that is it pretty much. I'm just going to put in a cup of the chocolate chips and let it sit in there for a couple minutes after I've turned everything off, and then I'm just going to stir. Totally easy. I'll bring you closer. So you can see it's got like the little bubbles. I'm not trying to scald it or bring it to a boil, just a tiny simmer. And gonna get those covered in there and let it sit in there for 2 minutes. That is all. We're just trying to let those melt down, and then we'll pour it on top of our cake. So if you're wondering how much chocolate chips I used all together, 1 bag's worth. So that should be helpful. It's been a couple minutes. I'm just gonna give it a nice little stir and get all of that incorporated, and then I'll just pour it on top. So I'll bring back the cake and we'll do this together. Okay, the ganache is ready. I'm so glad I actually did it in a pot, because it just needed a tiny little bit more heat to melt all of those chocolate chips. And now you can see it is nice and smooth. So let's pour it all over this decadent cake. I would imagine it's really rich tasting, which I'm down with that kind of dessert for sure. And then we'll just kind of smear it around. But oh my gosh, doesn't this look divine? And you can't even tell, like, it's doesn't have flour in it. It looks just like a cake would. Oh my gosh, delicious. And I'm probably going to be able to lick whatever's left on the spatula. Okay. I'm loving this. Oh, looks like it's so special. Like, I could even put some like berries on top. But I kind of just like that it's by itself. I love it. I know that some people also have done flourless cakes and have put powdered sugar sprinkled on top. But that ganache looks delish. Let me get you closer. And here it is. It's just a nice little thin cake that's flourless, has that gorgeous ganache on it. I can't wait to try it, but alas, I'm going to have to wait until our visitors come this evening, which we also have vanilla ice cream for it. So, do you think they'll like it? Let me know in the comments. So our guests just left and my bowl is empty. It was so good, and the ice cream on top was perfect. They enjoyed it. They are just the cuties. They are sister missionaries, and they came and gave us a little lesson, and then we had a little dessert, and we got to visit for a few minutes. It was just really, really nice, and the sisters are super sweet. So I am so glad that the one sister missionary loved it, because I'll remember I said she can't have gluten, so she eats a gluten-free diet, so she had like 2 slices. I was so happy. So Thanks for stopping by. I'm so grateful to all of you. Give this video a thumbs up if this is something you think you would try. You could not even tell it was gluten-free or anything special. It just kind of tasted extra decadent and kind of fudgy. And I loved it. I will be making it again, and it was so easy. So thanks for stopping by. I'll see you soon, and stick around. You just never know what I'll be rolling out next. Bye, everyone.